I think one of the biggest factors that play a role into any person's success or into whether or not people can get out of any situation that they're in or change their life for the better is focusing on consistency and responsibility, right? A lot of us are creatures of habit, and the habits you form shape the person you are, right? If you have bad habits, it's gonna form bad things in your life, in whatever it is, mindset, if you smoke, drink, whatever, be lazy, be in bed all day, it's gonna form a lazy person. It's gonna form a person who has goals and aspirations but don't do the things they need to do to reach that spot in their life, right? And when you are a creature of habit and you instill these different goals and different situations and patterns in your life that help you reach the things you want, it's gonna work out for you, right? And a big thing of that is responsibility. You have to be responsible for all your actions, right? You can't blame other people. You can't blame situations that you're in, because in the end of the day, you are responsible for all the things that you do, right? The time you get up, the time you go to bed, you're responsible for that, right? If you get certain things done or not, you're responsible for that, right? And as I'm going on this journey of making changes in my life, trying to become a better version of myself, a big thing that I realize is how much more responsibility it is, responsibility over yourself, responsibility over, what you get done in a day. And it's okay to have those days where you don't reach whatever goal you have in that day, right? As long as you take the responsibility for it, I was tired, I couldn't do this, I didn't feel, it didn't feel right, take that responsibility. Take that responsibility for your past self, the person you was, the things that you couldn't do and that you now can do. Why? Because you started getting consistent in the things that you wanted and the things you wanted to change, right? My biggest thing has been getting more of a growth mindset and understanding that the person I am now is nowhere near the person that I want to be in the future. And the changes that I want to make in my life revolve around my mindset and revolves around having a positive outlook on every single thing that goes on in my life. It is so important to try to find the positive in everything you do. Why? Because life gets hard. Life gets real hard. Especially now in my early 20s, I'm starting to realize more responsibilities that I have, Mom and dad isn't always going to be there. Financial situations, living situations, you got to start doing those things for yourself. And if you just look at all the negatives, you're going to bury yourself. You're going to drown yourself. You're going to suffocate yourself. And it is very hard to get out of that once you're in it. You start looking at the positives in all those situations, you'll start to realize it's not that bad. Life isn't that bad, When you look at the positives, you become more grateful. You become grateful for the negatives in your life, and you're for sure you're for sure grateful for all the positives as well, right? When you're in those negatives, it's a chance to learn. It's a chance to grow. I'm a true believer in that. You could be in a spot that you hate being in, that you don't want to be in. But you look at it as a chance to grow. You look at it as from a positive perspective, that there's no way to go from here but up, you gonna make good changes. Things will get better. That's a big thing that I've been learning. Right? And the older you get, the more responsibilities you get. Don't add pressure to yourself that the world is already gonna give you. Right? You have to be your best friend. You have to be the one that gives yourself a pat on the back. You gotta be the one that helps lift yourself up, God gonna be there to help you. God's always gonna be there to help you, whether you see it or not. But when you have the support of God and you got the support of yourself, it's a real life changer. That's a real difference, You gotta be your own best friend. When you have those mental conversations with yourself, you gotta think of it as, your favorite person in the world, right? Because it only makes sense. You spend the most time with yourself. You might as well love yourself, and it's all a learning process. It's okay if you're not at that spot yet. Have that mindset that you'll get there eventually. And when you do, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love every situation, no matter how good or bad it is. You're gonna take that chance, take that experience as a time to grow, as a time to change. You're gonna be all right. That's my thoughts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. That's it. I catch y'all.